Good day, my name is Ekene Chukwuamechi, and in this video today I'll be showing data visualization capabilities using Open Distro for Elasticsearch and Kibana. Our sample data would be sample data of bank transactions. Uh, So let's go ahead and start the video. So like I said, I'm going to show you the data visualization capabilities of Open Distro for Elasticsearch and Kibana. The dataset we're using is gotten from cargo.com. It's a public dataset free for everyone to download. And the dataset is called bank transactions. And this is what dataset looks like. It's about 116,000 rows of bank transactions of different account numbers. So the data has the account number of the that made the transaction, the day the transaction was made, so that's the transaction date, the transaction details, so that would be the reference in the transaction or details of the transaction. If it was a check, you would have the check number, the value date of the transaction as well, the withdrawal amount. If the transaction was a withdrawal from the account, you would have the amount in this column. If it was a deposit amount, you'd have it in this column, and then you'd have the balance of the account. And this is what the dataset consists of. This columns and about 116,000 transactions of different accounts. So we're going to take this dataset, send it into Elasticsearch, and do a couple of visualizations with Kibana, and so that we can just show the proof of concept and show how we can use Kibana and Elasticsearch for such visualizations. Right? This video is assuming that you already have knowledge of how to get your data into Elasticsearch. I'm not going to show that in this video. I'm going to assume you know how to get data into Elasticsearch, as it might require some um, transformation of your data or transfiguration of your data. So this is the data as I've shown us, and this is about 116,000 rows of this data set. So you get your Elasticsearch and Kibana from Open Distro. You install it and configure it um, using their guide, and this is what we have. So I am going to log into the admin account now with my admin details. So I'm loading Elastic. I've logged into the admin account. I can see here in my tab, I have different options. I can go to the dashboards. I can query my data. I can set up alerting, and I can do management in terms of data management, user management, and all of that. But I'm first of all going to show the dashboards. So in the dashboards, you can get sample dashboards when you set up Open Distro for Elasticsearch and Kibana. They give you the options to add sample dashboards from their own sample data. But from our data, I have created from our sample data, this bank transaction data, I have created two dashboards, which I will just give a brief summary of this dashboard. So for example, the first dashboard is the bank summary dashboard. So this is just a dashboard to show summary of all accounts and transactions. If I go into this dashboard, I can see that it's an overview of all the accounts. This dashboard tells me two things: the number of transactions each account has carried out over a certain period of time, and the current account balance of each account. If you take note, on the top right of your screen, you can choose your date range here. You can choose the date range of your query, of what you want to see in the dashboard, and this would adjust. So in here we can see that there are it's about 10 account numbers that have made transactions in this date period between 1st January 2017 and 12th of January 2019. There are about 10 different account numbers that have had transactions on those account numbers. We can see here that this account number has had the most number of transactions, 39%, about 39.53%, while this account number has had the least, this has had the least transactions with only 932 transactions, while this had about 25,000 transactions. So you can see this quick information in all my accounts available to me in the data set. I can quickly see what transaction, how active each account number is, how active the account does transactions, and how much transactions they've done. In the right hand side, I can see their current account balance. I can see the first two account numbers have closed off their accounts at $0 balance, while the rest are in a deficit. They are in the negative account balance. So this is the first brief bank. This is the first brief dashboard that has been created from this data set. The second dashboard that has been created is very much more detailed. Account details dashboard. This is where you dive into the details of an account um, on a per account basis. If we go into this dashboard, we can see um, first of all in the top right corner you still have your your date selection. You can increase your date selection, you can reduce it. Um, this is just so you can determine what date range you want to see. But what to take note of is in just below that you have a filter, you have a control section where you can select what account number you want to see. So if I go in here and I select this account number, I want to see details of this account number. I apply my changes and I can see details of this account number. So on the left hand side here, I can see the transfer frequency. So how many times this account number has made a transfer using these transaction descriptions. So I can see immediately that 309 transfers have been made using the description FDRL internal fund transfer. I can see the balance of this account as I did this date, which is $462,000. That is the current account balance. I can see that on average, the average deposit this account holder has done, on average, the account holder deposits about $400,000. We have a gauge to show this, and I can see on average the withdraws about $100,000, about 190,000 on average. I can also see that the highest withdrawal, this shows the highest withdrawal. The highest withdrawal this account has made is 912,000, while the highest deposit is 3 million. So these are the kind of visualizations you can get on Kibana. You can get several visualizations. You can get your graphs, you can get your gauges, you can get your maps, you can get your histograms. Um, okay, here I can see the first transaction date of this account was June 29, 2017. That was the first time this account made any transaction. And if I wanted to go deeper, I can see all the transactions this account has made in this table. If I am concerned about a particular transaction, I can expand it, and I can see for this transaction, this person, their balance was 2 million at this point, and the person deposited 1 million with these transaction details. So you can go in depth into your data using these visualizations. If I want to see how many times the person deposited 1 million, for example, into how many times this account number deposited 1 million, I could do that from this table. I could come here and filter for this value with the plus sign. Filter for 1 million. and I can see all the transactions where the person deposited 1 million, and I can see it's 11 transactions. I can see it over different years, two in 2017, a couple in 2018, different days, different months. So you have the ability to do that um, using Kibana. So that's just a brief explanation of what you can do with visualizations you can do with Kibana. I will just let me change the user so that we can see apply changes. Now this person is currently in a deficit of about 1 billion, if I am right. Yes, and I can see that has made a couple of transfers to a couple of transaction details. I can see the average withdrawal, average deposit over here. Um, I can also see that the highest withdrawal is a bit in the red zone with $104 million highest withdrawal, while the highest deposit about $37 million. So um, yes, and the first transaction date was January 2nd, 2017 this time. You also have a table of transaction details for that account number. That is why it is highlighted. You have a table of account of transaction details for that account number. So this is just a brief overview of what you can get from Kibana, using how you can visualize your data from Kibana. You have different, depending on what you want to see, you can use heat maps, you can use gauges, you can use metrics, you can use graphs, you can use maps, and a few more visualization um, tools. So these are the dashboards that we've created using you have created from this database, from this data set. Now with these dashboards and with your data set, you can create what we call alerts. If I go into the alerts section, you can see that this admin has created a withdrawal limit alert. The withdrawal limit alert shows you, okay, you can, yeah, it's enabled. You have a graph. You can decide what to do when there's a